And I know everyone's going to be mad at me when I talk about that second interception, but I'll talk about that in a few seconds. Hello there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It is the DO Week 16. Only a few weeks left, and then, well, it's playoff time. Granted, we already have a few teams in the playoffs already, but I am not alone right now. Of course, we have.
The upset king of the picks and your
Yeah,
New York movie star.
you need to stop with that fucking upset bullshit. That pisses me that pissed me off because that's the only reason the Jags won. Not because it's because of your fuck. Well, the Jags have they all 4 out of 6 in the last they've won 4 of the last
But
6 games.
yeah,
So I can't really say that
it's
they
your
are a
boy
good
Dave.
team. Um,
It's your boy Dave. Well, yeah,
that
we
was a
know.
bad game, but we still made the playoffs. Granted, I'm not happy in how we made it because I think the Redskins got cheated, which we'll discuss in a little bit. Now, Travis is not here with us tonight. He is currently at work making that money. Money. Yeah, yeah. That money. Money.
Yo,
Yeah,
break
yeah.
it. Yo, Travis, if we replay this, give us some liquor for Christmas. Okay?
I think if he could, he would send it to us. Unfortunately, I can't drink any alcohol right now. One of the rules. And I'm going to
Oh,
follow
damn,
that
that
rule.
sucks.
I'm going to follow that rule to the T because I'm a good person.
Yeah. So no, you're not drinking New Year's Eve?
Nope. Unless I get invited to go out with
Uh,
a few friends, which I hope to God I do, but if I don't, I'll be
go to
sober
a
for the first time.
bar. Go go to a titty bar. Can you say
There's
titty on here?
You can, but there's none of that around Bedford. Unfortunately, I'd have to drive to Roanoke or Lynchburg.
Ah.
So yeah,
Oh.
and I don't even know if Roanoke or Lynchburg have any of those either. If anybody who's watching this lives around this area, please let me know. But before we get to the recap and all that,
Hit the comments. Type in the comments. Type in the
I have to
comments.
sing.
If there's
So everyone enjoy this
dude,
tale we're singing. It's Frosty the Snowman, of course. Dude,
thank you, Texans.
Frosty with the Jags. Frosty the Snowman
Yeah.
was a jolly, happy soul with a corn pipe and a butter nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Oh shit, he's doing the worm. Oh, Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be. And the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Look at Frosty go. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Over the hills of snow. Oh, Frosty the Snowman knew the sun was out that day. So he said, let's run and we'll have some fun now before I melt away. Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand. Now, okay, when he says broomstick, are we talking like a broomstick or a Bruce Campbell boomstick? Frosty's got a
Uh,
shotgun, run! Anyway, I had to make a joke, I'm sorry. Running here and there around the squares, saying, catch me if you can. He led them down the streets of town, right to the traffic cop, and he only paused a moment when he heard him holler, stop! Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way. But he waved goodbye, saying, don't you cry, I'll be back again someday. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Look at Frosty go. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Over the hills of snow. And there you go, I've done my punishment for this week. Fuck you, Jaguars.
thank you,
Yeah,
Jaguars.
only you would say thank you, but yeah. Anyway, let's give a recap of last week real quick. On Thursday, the 49ers beat the Seahawks, clinching the 49ers the division. The 49ers punched their ticket into the playoffs. Then we get to Saturday. Oh, dear God. The Colts
Yo,
made history, but not the good
yeah.
kind of history.
Before I went on break. I went on break for lunch for like 15 minutes lunch break. I looked at my score. It was Colts 33, the Vikings 0. I'm like, yay! I'm gonna go second place. I
No,
get
you
off
had the
work.
Viking. Yeah, because you wanted the.
Yeah, and I got off work. Check the score. It was tied. Like, how the fuck did the Colts let Kirk Cousins come back from a 33 mother 33 comeback? I'm like, you suck it, Matt
Because
Ryan.
Jeff
So Matt Ryan
Saturday
got
is
his
an
thing.
idiot.
So Matt Ryan made history. He made history. Congrats, you made history,
Well,
Matt Ryan. Good
yeah, I
job.
kind of feel sad for Matt Ryan though, because now he's going to be known for blowing a lead in the Super Bowl, biggest lead in the NFL season, biggest lead I
The
believe in
conference.
the playoff
Yep.
games, and also blowing a lead in international game. So unfortunately, I feel sorry for him in the sense because not I know everyone's gonna blame him because yeah he didn't play well, but why is no one blaming Jeff Saturday or the defense? Because last I looked, the defense gave up all those points for the Vikings to come back. You know, so
That is
I
true.
wish they would get a little bit of the blame. Yes, Matt Ryan deserves some of it, but again, when the offense is not giving you the right play calls, who's ever calling it for offense, that doesn't help. And the defense pretty much just didn't care at that point. Um, Bills clinched their playoff ticket as they beat the Dolphins also on Saturday. And then the Browns upsetted the Ravens. Ravens really, after looking so good against the Steelers the week before, and everyone's like, oh, Ravens will win this game. Browns kick block. That doesn't happen that often.
Yes,
Um,
he did. You got my card, bro?
so there's that. Saints kept their playoff hopes alive by beating the Falcons. Um, we'll get back to that Sunday night game in a minute. Steelers keep their playoff hopes alive by beating the Panthers. Panthers really proving they were a one-hit wonder. Eagles beat the Bears, but it may have cost them, and I will
Uh-oh.
explain why, because Hurts is hurt right now. We don't know if he's playing yet or not on Saturday. Chiefs had to beat the Texans in overtime. Texans the last 2 weeks have played pretty well. It's just they can't get across that finish line and get
How
the W.
embarrassing is that? How embarrassing?
Jags won the fourth game out of 6 after they beat the Cowboys in overtime. Dak threw a bad pass, tipped out of the Cowboys receiver's hand, caught by the Jags. Jags return it for 6. I got to give the Jags credit. Their defense played well in the second half. I thought the game, Dallas was looking like good, but unfortunately, combination of Jaguars defense playing better in that second half and a lot of mental mistakes by the Cowboys offense cost them in the end. Hopefully they get it turned around because they are in the playoffs, and we'll get to why in a little bit. Lions beat the Jets because the Jets offensively were stupid at the final minute. Broncos country, let's ride. Well, they beat Arizona, and by the way, Colt McCoy's out. The Connors, well, we'll explain what the Connors got to do now. The Chargers won my upset pick, beating the Titans. Titans proving once again they are the biggest frauds of the AFC. Speaking of frauds, Tampa Bay. How the hell do you blow that big lead at halftime? I thought the Colts was bad enough, but then Brady does it. And Brady, by the way, turned over the ball 4 times in the second half. Chiefs, not Chiefs, Bengals came back to win that game. Patriots, okay, we gotta talk about this game real quick. Raiders and Patriots, oh dear God. Raiders won the game, me and Travis are happy. I know you had Patriots, so there's that. I want to know what they were thinking on that final drive, because they should have just took the knee and play in overtime, win in overtime. I know with the running back, the running back, and all of them said who did all that, they blamed it on themselves. No. They should have just kneeled. I know you play to win the game, but you know what? Sometimes it's best just to go into overtime and play and win in that situation. Like the Chiefs did, like the Jags did. Instead of,
Yeah,
I want to win now. Doing that may have cost the Patriots the playoffs because I know they're still holding a spot at the moment, but this loss could come back to bite them in the ass. We shall see. Raiders keeping their playoff hopes alive. Great win for the Raiders going into this Saturday night Christmas Eve game against the Steelers. That is a do-or-die game for both. Winner keeps hope alive. Loser will most likely be out at that point. And then the
And rest in
Sunday
peace to the
game.
running back.
Running back, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, rest in peace to the Steelers running back Franco
Yeah, we were
Harris.
gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna mention that in a little bit
Wow.
because we're still recapping. I thought you meant the Raiders running back. You know how he's been. Um, but let's get to
That's good too.
yeah. Now let's get to the Sunday game from this past week, Sunday night. Giants and Redskins. I watched that game, and I am utterly disappointed with the officiating on that final drive for Washington.
Are you talking about where the guy's on the line and they gotta like it's a
Both.
legal
Oh,
formation?
not only that
That
one.
one.
That one I get why they call it letter of the law, but you could see the receiver asking, "Am I lined
Yeah,
up
and the ref
correctly?"
said yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
the ref
ref
said
was,
yeah.
and then threw the flag anyway. Now, of course, most refs have said players ask us. We usually don't call that flag that often on receivers, usually. So a lot of people are like, why is that being called? You usually don't call that. Because usually the refs don't like to call anything near the final minute or so. Which gets us to the other problem why a lot of people believe the Redskins were cheated. The pass interference that was not called. I think everyone in agreement, even if you hate the Redskins or whatever you want, or the new name, even if you're not a fan of theirs, I think everybody would agree that should have been called pass interference. Why they didn't, I don't know. I don't know how the refs could miss that. I think Ray Charles could have called that correctly, and he's blind. A zombie could call that correctly, and they're brain dead. So I don't know why the refs missed that. I know somebody's going to defend the refs saying, hey, they're only human, human element, blah, blah, blah. But that missing that flag, because I was on 4th and goal. If the flag is called, Redskins get a whole new set of downs. And there's a chance we might go in overtime, which I think some people said, oh, that's why the refs cheated them. They didn't want to do another overtime game and end in a tie again. Because remember, that's what happened a few weeks ago. They ended in a tie. I think this will hurt the Redskins' playoff chances now because of that. I know most likely some people have said because of what's going on off the field for the Skins, all the off the field issues, the NFL maybe doesn't want him in the playoffs. So some people have realized that. I think it does make the NFL look bad, though. You blatantly saw one thing that got called that's never usually called, and then pass interference, which should have been called. I know somebody's going to say, refs don't like to decide the final minute. Could you imagine if that was a Super Bowl match? If this was the Super Bowl and that was missed? You would have fans pissed. You would have Vegas pissed off because of betting. You would have and all that shit, so... We'll see what happens. Probably nothing. Worst case, the NFL will send down an apology letter saying, yeah, we fucked up. Because I don't think anyone's disputing the pass interference call. That should have been called. You could maybe say the one on the wide receiver should have been called by letter of the law, but again, we've seen refs not call that. So, anyway. And then on Monday, the Packers beat the Rams, eliminating the Rams from playoff contention. So Rams go from Super Bowl to eliminated. So there was that. So I went 11-5 this past week, and I am 133, 84, and 89 and 2.
I'm here. I'm trying.
Yeah, you and
Right.
you and Travis are gonna have to write down your season record if you can find it, because I don't have that paper with me when I moved, unfortunately.
I won 12. I won 12 and hold on. I won 12. Wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I won 12 and 4. They have Falcons and Redskins and the Panthers and the fucking Patriots. You should have won.
I agree with that.
So for me, I'm 138, 83 and 2.
Yeah, Travis kind of figured you had a good 4 to 5 game lead on everybody. Let's get to some of the news that's broke over the last few days. First thing first, of course, a sad goodbye. We've already mentioned it, to former Steelers great Franco Harris, who's known for the monoculous catch, which ironically enough, it's the 50th anniversary of that this week.
And they're going to retire his jersey Saturday too, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
For
Oh,
Christmas
there you go.
Eve,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's on NFL Network only, so you gotta have to have NFL Network for that one. Mr. Harris was a 9-time Pro Bowler, 4-time Super Bowl champion. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he's the 15th most rushing yards in NFL season. But he's mostly known for the catch against the Raiders. Also, my mom's Baltimore Ravens. Dave, do you know they have 10 scenarios that will get him into the playoffs this weekend?
10.
Yep. Here's how the Ravens can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. They win this week, plus a Miami and a New England loss. Baltimore also gets in with a win, plus a Miami and Jets loss. Baltimore can also get in with a win and a New England and Jets loss. It wasn't a catch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I get why he's saying that, Raiders. Baltimore can also get in if they tie and the Patriots and Jets lose. Baltimore can also get in if they tie and the Patriots, Miami lose, plus Chargers win. Baltimore also gets in with a tie plus losses by New England, Miami, and a Jets tie. In better words, they got a lot of fucking chances. I'm just going to leave it at that because just gets too confusing. But the last one's hilarious. Their 10th and final way they can get in. Ravens can get in with a New England loss, a Jets loss, a Cleveland loss or tie, a Raiders loss or tie, plus a Tennessee Titans loss or tie, and a Chargers win. Good lord. Alright, moving on.
Fuck?
The Bills can clinch the AFC East this week with one or two things. They either need to win or have a Miami loss this week. Bills do have
you really think the Packers gonna beat the Dolphins?
Well, Buffalo plays the Bears. Dolphins play the Packers, so...
You really think the Packers gonna beat the Dolphins?
Well, it is in Miami, but we'll see.
I see the worst.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts officially listed today as did not practice due to a sprained shoulder. You have to keep an eye on that if you have him for fantasy or you haven't made a pick yet. Also, Cardinals versus the Buccaneers. Cardinals have ruled out Colt McCoy versus the Bucs due to his concussion. That game is just getting worse and worse.
And the best news of all, Nick Foles is starting for the quarterback for the Colts.
Yeah, I was getting ready to announce that Nick Foles will be the quarterback for the Colts this week. I believe they play the Chargers, if I'm right.
Yeah, Monday night.
Monday night, all right. Also, Archie Manning, the number 2 overall quarterback, he has signed with the Texans Longhorns. So,
Who is that? Is that Peyton Manning's son or Eli Manning's son? Is that the other brother?
I think it's maybe Peyton. I might be wrong
I don't
on that
know.
one. Also, a little bit of fun news, though. Going to Doug Peterson real quick. An Eagles employee really sent 35 Philadelphia cheesesteaks to the former head coach after the Jags beat the Eagles. And that's kind of nice news a bit, you know. Makes me smile. At least some of the Eagle people still love him. The Ravens claimed wide receiver Sammy Watkins off waivers from the Packers because he was released from the Packers. Now, there are a few teams who can be eliminated this week. The Browns, the Saints, the Raiders, Steelers, Packers, Falcons, Jets, and Colts. But a lot of things have to go that way for that to happen. I don't think a lot of that's going to happen.
The Archie is the oldest son of Cooper. I don't know who fuck Cooper Manning is, but it's the nephew of Peyton and Eli.
Cowboys linebacker Vandersich avoided a major neck injury, but he is out for Saturday's game against the Eagles. Also, Rams center, Brian Allen and wide receiver corner, I think that might be corner or center, one of the two. And wide receiver Ben S. are out for the rest of the season with calf strains. So keep that in mind. And teams that can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. The Bengals, Ravens, Chargers, and the Giants. And lastly, the Colts placed Jonathan Taylor on IR, officially ending his season. And Kenny Pickett has been cleared concussion protocol and is in line to start versus the Raiders this week. And unfortunately, for tomorrow night's game, Jets have ruled out Mike White for Thursday night against the Jags due to his rib injury, so Zach Wilson will start once again. He's Cooper Manning's son. Thank you, Coy.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I couldn't remember. There's too many fucking Manning people, but it's Cooper Manning's son. Thank you for that. Shout out to you and all that. I'm sure he's wondering if I'm going to side with the Raiders once again, because I've been siding with the Raiders the last few weeks. But before we get to that, let's just take a look at two more things. We got to take a look at the who's the draft position right now, and then of course, as many of you know, Sunday besides the NFL games, we have NBA games on Christmas Day. So who's excited to watch the NBA on Christmas Day? Because, well, all three NFL games look like shit. And I don't want
That's
anyone...
true.
Okay, well, the Dolphins and... I know we're not making our picks yet, but I know the Dolphins and Packers kind of looks interesting. Yeah, I know. I didn't move my damn controller. Shut up. Not you, the Madden. You know how Madden is when you don't move your controller like every 2 seconds. It's like, oh, you left. But yeah, I gotta be honest. Does anyone really care about the Broncos Rams? Hell to the no. Does anyone care about the Cardinals Buccaneers Sunday night game? Hell no. I want to ask Santa Claus, what the fuck did we do to deserve these two games? I don't like it. Anyway, here's your positioning for the draft right now. I'm just gonna give you the top 5. Number 1 is still Houston. Number 2 is Chicago. Number 3 is the Seahawks, because remember they own the Broncos pick. Number 4 is the Lions because they own the Rams pick, and then number 5 it is Arizona. For you New Orleans Saints fans, you got number 9, so that helps Philadelphia, and Texans who have the 12th pick as well by Cleveland also have that pick at the moment. But let's get to the games we have for the NBA for you NBA fans out there. If you're not an NBA fan, hey, I get it. But I am an NBA guy. My team actually plays on Christmas Day, believe it or not, my NBA team, my Mavericks.
Wow.
So,
How they doing?
Yeah, they're doing okay. Not great, not bad. It's still early in the season.
Not better than the Lakers. Better than Lakers?
Oh, everyone's doing better than the Lakers. You, me, Travis, and Mr. Ramsey over here, we could probably beat the Lakers. Oh, Mr. Ramsey, you remember what Stenning River is? I think everybody from our graduating class who was on the basketball team could probably beat the Lakers right now. I'm sure somebody's like, that's wrong, Doug. Hey, the Lakers fucking suck.
Yep,
that's not
true.
an insult. That's just a fact of life, like Eli Drake would say back in TNA. Speaking of which, why I bring this up, I can't believe this is going to happen. Stephen A. Smith is going to be doing something for WWE at WrestleMania. No, I've lost all respect for Triple H. He is failing. Bring back Vince McMahon. We do not want goddamn...
I like Stephen A. Smith.
Unless Stephen A. Smith is going to put through a table that's on fire, then it's going to be sent to hell. That'd be great. Other than that, no. Plus, he's probably going to be promoting kissing the Bloodline's ass, because you know him. He only likes to kiss popular people's ass, like LeBron James, Tom Brady, and others.
Cowboys,
no, he hates the Cowboys.
I know. That's why I like him. He's cool in my book. He's awesome in my book.
Yeah, fuck Stephen A. Smith. Hopefully somebody breaks his teeth at WrestleMania. That'd be nice.
I want him to get stunned by Stone Cold.
Oh, that would pay for that. I would watch that on replay. Here are your games. By the way, most of these will be on ABC and ESPN. The first game on Christmas Day will be the 76ers at the Knicks. Then after that, it's the Lakers at the Mavericks. At 5 o'clock, it's the Bucks at the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, let's go Celtics.
Then your night games on Christmas Day will be Grizzlies at Warriors, and then the Suns taking on the Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
But let's get to the first game of the NFL this week. Of course, it is the Jaguars against the Jets. Jaguars have won 4 of the last 6, control their own destiny to win their division because the South is fucking the division's terrible. Tennessee's looks like a joke. Now, the reason that is, Jets declaw the Kitties. Okay, so Ramsey is taking the Jets. And the reason I say this because the final game for the Jaguars is at home against the Titans. So Jaguars win the next 2. That game, the Titans and Jaguars, will mean a whole lot more. Jaguars win 3 games, they will win the division. Which is kind of funny. Jaguars may have to hope to chill for the Cowboys next week. But that's Jets kind of falling off the map a little bit. You know, the defense still looks good. The offense has been questionable. I think they will better with Michael White. I think that's his name, Mr. White. Just be easier. And then Zach Wilson. I don't know if Zach Wilson has that trust or the respect of the locker room back after everything that's happened. Now, I will say, the game against Detroit, I don't blame him for that loss. That was bad coaching. The weather might play a key factor here because it's probably going to be cold in New York. Travis is taking the Jaguars. Dave, who do you have?
The Jaguars.
You got the Jags as well. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a trifecta as well. I'm taking the Jags. I just don't trust Zach Wilson anymore. I mean,
I trust Trevor Lawrence. I trust that motherfucking guy with the long hair.
I trust Doug Peterson because I think if they're down, I think they turn it around like they did against Dallas and, and how well they were dominant against the Titans.
I trust AEW.
Ramsey said Jags have never won a cold weather game ever. That is true. But this might be the chance they do it. I think if it was White Plain, I probably would have picked the Jets here, but
Yeah.
I just lost so much trust in Zach Wilson after everything that's happened between how he played against New England badly and then the press conference. I just can't trust him, and I'm going to say this. If I was in that locker room, I don't know if I could play 100% for Wilson. I would play 100% for Falco. I'd play 100% for White. But I don't know if I could do that for Zach Wilson because I don't think like he's a good teammate. I think he's becoming a young cancer, kind of like how T.O. was and other people, who are cancer to the locker room. Hopefully he can get out of that because he's young.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel, yeah. Hopefully he gets out of it. I don't know, but we shall see. But I'm taking the Jags here. Let's see what happens. It should be... Now, I will say this. If you would have told me earlier in the year this game would mean something for AFC playoff contention, I'd have said you were full of shit, but here we are. Alright, moving on to the Saturday games. The first one is the Falcons on the road against the Ravens. Falcons, with the new quarterback, didn't look that great against New Orleans. Baltimore really looked bad offensively against Cleveland.
Oh, God.
The game is in Baltimore. Ramsey's taking the Falcons here. Travis has the Ravens here. To me, this was a coin flip. I really had a hard time picking this one because Ravens really need Lamar Jackson back, and they need to pay him that money. Because apparently the other quarterbacks ain't going to get it done. I picked Baltimore only because I trust the kicker. That's the only reason I have. I trust Tucker more than the Falcons kicker, so give me Baltimore.
I got the Ravens.
Alright. No one's really wanted to take a leap of faith yet. Granted, Travis, I'm sure if Travis here's my two upset picks, everyone's going to think I've lost my mind. Up next, it is the Detroit Lions on the road against the Panthers. Panthers need this one to keep alive in their division. The Lions need this one to keep stay in the playoff run. I know if they win out, I think they take over a spot. I'm taking Detroit here, though. They've won the last 6 or 7. They've been red hot. They got hot at the right time. Them and the Jags. I think the Lions overall are just a better team than Carolina. Carolina's rebuilding. I do agree with what you said last week. If the Lions, and I know I said it as well, if the Lions make the playoffs, there's your head coach of the year. There's no question on that one, in my opinion. If the Lions make it, he deserves it. Because
Yep.
I know he's not going to get it, but I think he should. I got Detroit. Ramsey's got Detroit. Travis has Detroit. Dave, are you joining us?
Okay. Before I make my play, Dan Campbell made Detroit Lions from a laughing stock to a heavyweight contender.
He made him
for the
relevant
Super Bowl.
again.
And I respect that. But I got the Lions beating the fuck out of Panthers.
That's
By 4 touchdowns.
Wow,
4 touchdowns.
All right. Up next, one of the games that kind of means something for the Bills, at least. Bills at Chicago. If the Bills win this, they win the division. Keep a hold of that number 1 seed in the AFC. Chicago's already limited from playoff contention. At this point, they're just playing for pride and maybe trying to play the war spoiler to some teams. Chicago did hang in there against Philly. They only lost by 5 points, but Buffalo, even without Von Miller, Buffalo's looked good. I think they're turning it around right time. Give me the Buffalo Bills. By the way, this is my lock of the week. I just think Bills are a better team. And Josh Allen's getting back into that category of maybe being in the MVP race. He was in the MVP race before everything happened. I know a lot of people threw him out, but I think he's going to get back in it. I don't know if he'll win the MVP, but he should be up for at least in the race. Give me Buffalo. Mr. Ramsey's taking the Bills, dominate the Bears, and Travis is also taking the Bills.
I got the Bills too. Let's
Yep.
see. I'm looking at my schedules. I might say how am I gonna watch all these games on Christmas Eve?
ESPN app.
Well, okay.
Red Zone.
I'm about to see you get. I'm about to see the red zone. I'm gonna show them this week because I'd be mad if
Well,
they
they
don't.
should. I mean, okay. Up next,
Sign up.
we're heading to Cleveland as the
Sign.
Browns at home against the Saints. Both teams need to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Saints might be able to lose this one and still win their division, depending what happens with Carolina, Tampa, and Atlanta. Cleveland needs this one though, because if they lose, they might be dead. Because you're not going to be able to take the division over from Baltimore or Cincinnati. You're going to have to get in through the wild card, which I don't know if they can do it. But this is one of my two upset picks for this week. I'm taking the Saints here. I just think, personally, I trust the Saints a little bit more. They haven't had as much dysfunction. Yes, I know most of the Browns' dysfunction was because of the quarterback not playing until a few weeks ago because of the suspension. But I think there's more gelling of the team for the Saints. I think there's more not having to learn everything like he did. So give me the Saints. Travis has the Saints as well. Dave, who do you have?
I got the Browns. I can't. I don't trust the Saints. I don't trust any.
Yeah, I think the
dog.
Browns, when I looked, were only favored by like 2.5 points, so it's kind of close. Mr. Ramsey, aka East Coast Raider, says Saints over Brownie the Elf. All right, and Travis laughing Cowboys. Say, I already sang Travis, so go back to the beginning of that. And I talked about that game already. I'm not mad. I think I was like the only Dallas fan not angry, which is hilarious. Up next, we head to Kansas City as the Chiefs at home against the Seahawks. Chiefs have already won the division. They're just trying to get that number one seed, but Chiefs will have a home playoff game. Seahawks are trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need this win badly to keep in contention in the race. Travis is picking the Chiefs here. I'm taking the Chiefs.
The Chiefs too.
You're taking the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs. So my thing is this. Even their defense is terrible. I've said that before. The Chiefs probably have the worst defense going into the playoffs right now. But their offense is why they're winning games and staying in it. Because Patrick Mahomes is a scary man. And that too. Seahawks, though, you should be worried about your overhyped defense. I'm sure that he means my Cowboys there. On that one. Yeah, we had a bad game. With hopefully, it gets turned around and all that. Mr. Ramsey's taking the Seahawks to beat the Queefs. I wonder if that's he is a Raiders fan, so.
NFL not showing the red zone, so I have to see if they're showing it in my game on NFL Network or not.
In better words, you'll be having to use the ESPN app to keep an eye on the score like I will. Up next, we head to Minnesota. Vikings take on the Giants. Well, Vikings have already won their division, so they're in the playoffs no matter what. Giants, if they win this game, I believe they will clinch a playoff spot, or at least be close to it, depending on what happens.
They will. They would.
Travis is taking the Vikings here. Now, here's the thing. This game I'm worried about, because the Vikings looked so bad in that first half that I think if they were playing any legit team, they would have lost that game, because Dallas blew them out. They got blown out by the Colts. If it was a good team, Vikings should have lost. And the Vikings lost to Detroit. Giants, the only reason they won this past week was because of bad officiating on that final drive for the Redskins.
But we talked about that too in the beginning too.
We did. So I'm taking the Vikings here. I just think better team. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Better quarterback. Which, that's pretty sad when I'm on Kirk Cousins' side. That is scary as shit. So give me the Vikings. Travis has the Vikings. Mr. Ramsey has the Vikings as well. Dave,
you're gonna think I'm on drugs. I see upset here. I see upset here. I see upset here. I see the Giants running over the Vikings.
You're taking the Giants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they lose, we go. Yeah, if they lose, we be in second place. If we win and they lose, we be in second place.
Yeah. Keyword if. Travis says you love
You-
you love Cousins. Oh, kiss my ass, Travis. That's like kiss my ass. Up next, we're going to New England as the Bengals take on the Patriots.
oh, that's good on it.
I
This,
don't trust the Patriots at all. Patriots look like a shitty team. I'm sorry, particularly if how they lost to the Raiders. That is embarrassing. I'm sure Bill Belichick's
oh
like, I'm
man,
gonna kill
who
the
does
entire
that?
team.
Like,
Um,
the running back didn't see the guy in front of him. Like, oh yeah, oh here we go, dude.
it
And
was
Mac Jones
funny
had to
seeing Matt
run.
Jones getting knocked the fuck over. That was hilarious. I think that's going to be on the highlight reel this year. Might be one of the biggest highlights for the Raiders this season. Um, Travis is taking the Bengals. Mr. Ramsey's taking the Bengals. Kitty go meow. My lock. I got the Bengals as well. We saw what they did against the
I got the
Buccaneers.
Bengals.
Yeah, no,
I got the Bengals.
I don't think anyone's taking the Patriots. That's one of those like yeah. Up next, it is the Texans against the Titans. Now this is interesting.
Oh God.
Titans are favored, but the last 2 weeks the Titans have looked terrible. They got blown out by Jacksonville, and they really didn't do anything against the Chargers. Chargers pretty much easily beat them. It
What did
was
you hear about Ryan Tannehill? He's out. He's out for this season.
he got injured. I did not hear that. That must have popped up on my radar.
Hold on.
Um,
Hold on.
I know Titans have King Henry, but I think they've been relying too much on King Henry. And if you can stop King Henry and
See,
force
Ryan Tannehill very likely out for season. 30 minutes from ESPN.
okay, that's why I didn't
Is
haven't
the
checked ESPN in a while.
ankle injury.
Oh, so that means it'll be the backup going in for the Titans from Liberty.
Like,
Here's the thing: if you can stop Derrick Henry, you can beat the Titans. The last 2 weeks, almost beating Dallas if it
yeah.
wasn't for a bad defensive fuck up by them, and they lost to Kansas
And
City
the
in
Chiefs.
overtime. Yeah, you can make the argument Texans should have had 2 wins already by this point. And I've been saying almost how many weeks now? The last few weeks, Dave, that the Titans are frauds to me.
Yep.
So, with that being said, this is my
Their
other
times.
upset pick of the week. I am taking the Houston Texans to beat the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee.
Third time's a charm, right? Third time's
Yeah,
a charm.
Mr. Ramsey's taking the Texans in his upset. Reels for the Titans back up is trash as fuck. Travis has the Titans. I don't think he could go that far like me and Mr. Ramsey all like proving one insane maybe.
I got the Texans.
You got the Texans. Oh wow! So Travis is literally on his own on that one.
This is why he needs to win. And
So that's one of the games I know we're gonna. All right, up next, we'll head to San Francisco. Niners have already won the division. They're just trying to get to the number 2 seed. Might get to the number 1 seed if they get some help. AKA Eagles have to lose out. Wait,
Yep.
did you all pick the Texans? Yes, Travis. You're the only one who didn't pick the Texans. I'm sure you're like, oh, thanks for the easy win.
he's like, he said, "What are we smoking?"
Yeah, I'm sure that's what everyone's asking. Mr. Ramsey's taking the 49ers here. Here's the thing. I like what the Redskins have been doing the last few weeks. You know, I think they did get cheated by the refs. I like Heineke. I think he's going to be their franchise quarterback for the next few years. I like their defense a bit. But I think the problem is you're going up against a defense that's way too far superior and the 49ers. Redskins need this game badly.
And Kyle played his old team. Kyle Shanahan is.
Yeah, Redskins need this win bad to keep in the playoff race. But I don't see it happening. I just think the 49ers defense is too good. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I think they could put a guy in with no arms and they would still win the game offensively. Because the playbook's not built for, it's not built to have a good quarterback. That Niners offense is built to not screw up and let the defense do the work. Kind of like the Bears
And
Super
Brock
Bowl win
Purdy.
of the 2 Ravens.
And Brock Purdy's doing an excellent job.
That he is. Travis said are you a hype? No.
No,
My grandmother might be, but anyway, I'm taking the Niners as well. I'm taking the Niners. I just don't trust the Redskins. I'm sorry. Ramsey's taking the Niners. Travis is taking the Niners. Dave, just I know who you're picking. Just say it.
The Redskins. Say no, the
I
49ers.
was gonna say
The
what
Niners.
if you picked the Niners to
Bang,
lose.
bang.
I was gonna say what are you smoking?
Bang,
Moving on.
bang, that or gay.
All right. Well, I already know I'm going to probably be the lone man out on this belt. Philadelphia Eagles on
Oh,
at 425 play the Cowboys. Eagles, if they win this, they win the division. The Cowboys win this, and then when out, Cowboys can steal the division if the Eagles lose out. Hurts is injured right now. We don't know if he's playing or not. Do I really think he needs to? No, because even if they win this one without him, I don't think you want to have his shoulder get worse. I think they're probably going to put the backup in. We'll see how that
Mitsu.
happens. Yeah, I think we'll see how that goes
Mitsu.
personally. Mr. Ramsey's taking the Eagles, even with Hurts might being out. Dallas still has Dak 11 interceptions in 5 games. Yeah, Dak's played bad the last 5 games. I don't get what's going on with him personally, but that's me. I'm taking the Cowboys anyway. Cowboys have already made clinched the 5th seed because of the fact of the Giants. I don't think they'll lose the 5th seed, even if they lose this one, because of the fact that they got 10 wins. Everybody else behind them's at 7. So even if they lose this, I don't see them dropping to 7th. I think they'll probably win the next 2 anyway, because Titans have been bad, and then they play the Redskins. So this game is mostly for one thing. Dallas wins, gives them hope for the division. Eagles win, they got the division. They won't have the number 1 seed locked up yet, because I think they would have to win next week for that to happen. But even if they lose this, I don't see the Eagles losing the division, losing the number 1 seed at all. But give me the Cowboys, so I think. Now, I will say this, and this is to my fellow Cowboy fans out there. If we beat the Eagles, I don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, we beat the Eagles at their best." No, we did not, because if Hurts is out, or if Hurts is not playing great because of the injury, we did not beat them at their best. So I don't want to hear that shit, okay? If Hurts is out. I don't want to hear that if Dallas wins, oh, we beat them at their best. No, we did not. We beat them when they were without their best player on the field. It'd be like if you beat the Steelers. It'd be like if you...
Dallas Hooper... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it'd be like if you beat the Patriots when Brady wasn't there. Did you really beat the Patriots? No. It'd be like if you beat the Steelers and Big Ben wasn't there when he doing his heyday. Did you really beat them? No. You beat that team that was not at full strength, personally. Okay, Travis is also reporting now breaking news. Tannehill's out for the year. Yeah, that could hurt the Titans a bit the rest of the way. That could actually help Dallas next week, and it helps Jacksonville. Because I don't think Titans will do anything. I think Titans will become the biggest choke artist of this year, because they should have... I'm going to say this before we get to Dave's pick and Travis's. For this one. The Titans should have already had this division locked up. Because the Colts suck, the Texans suck, and at the time when you had that big lead in the division, Jaguars weren't doing that well. But the Titans have literally choked it away. We are seeing a masterclass in how to choke. Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian could take lessons from the Titans. And that's saying that. All right, but anyway, Travis says the Eagles. Mr. Ramsey says the Eagles. Dave, are you taking the Cowboys in this one, or are you going to ride with Philly?
What am I?
You are a Cowboys hater.
Okay.
But you know about the Eagles' injury to Hurts.
You know what? I'm gonna surprise you, Doug. I'm picking an upset here. The Cowboys upsetting the Eagles.
Well, right now Dallas is favored by a point, but I think that's only because Hurts is iffy at the moment.
Well, I'm picking the Cowboys.
Picking the Cowboys. I will say this now: if the Cowboys do lose to the Eagles, I will be singing another Christmas song because it would be during Christmas when they lose this week. I will most likely be singing... Give me a minute. I will most likely either be singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I haven't figured out yet, but it's one of those two. Anyway, we're going to Pittsburgh now. Now, this is the anniversary of the miraculous catch. Both teams need this win to keep alive in the playoff hunt. It is in Pittsburgh, so the weather will be cold as shit. We know Kenny's back for the Steelers. Mr. Ramsey, who's a Raiders fan, says Raiders finally get healthy. Cosby teabagging Pickett all game, and Raiders have won 4 straight against Pittsburgh. Now, here's the thing.
Never knew that.
We wanted this last week, but Pittsburgh won. If Pittsburgh loses, Tomlin's going to have his first... the head coach is going to have his first losing season in his NFL career. Raiders, as much as I hate Daniels, I hate their head coach, I've said it again, He should never had the job. It should have been the interim head coach from last year. I don't think anybody would disagree with that at this point. I would love to know Raiders' opinions on that. Do you like your head coach, or would you rather have the interim coach from last year? Ramsey, I'll let you answer that in the comments. Travis has taken the Steelers. Here's my thing. Do I think Raiders got lucky as hell to beat New England last week? Yes. Because I think any other team with a brain would have just went into overtime and see what happens. But, with that being said, why it is I think the Steelers will be playing with more heart because, they just lost one of the best players of all time from back in the day. There's that clout of the catch, the miraculous catch. Can Steelers do it again? Unfortunately, no. Raiders just have too many weapons on offense. I think the Steelers' defense might be a little bit better, but not by much. So I'm taking the Raiders here. Raiders keep their playoff hopes alive for another week. Dave, what about you? Are you going to ride with Travis and the Steelers, or are you joining me in the silver and black?
The Raiders. The Raiders.
Raiders, all right. Ramsey says, rather have the current coach over Rich. Think the defensive coordinator needs to go. Oh, wow. I think you're one of the few Raider fans who actually likes the current head coach. I still want him gone because I didn't like how he coached in Denver, but...
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I'm now we're getting to the Sunday games, aka Christmas Day, and the first one is on Fox, and I should point out, I don't know the rest of the games for Saturday what station, except for the Raiders Steelers, but I know the Sunday ones. So
I know the Bills are on CBS for me, and the Giants and Vikings.
We got the Packers and Dolphins. Dolphins need this win to stay alive in the division, unless Buffalo wins Saturday, obviously. But Dolphins need this win to keep alive in the playoff hunt. Packers can still make the playoffs if they went out and get some help. It is in Miami, though, so there won't be no cold weather in this, but it's not going to be super hot like it would be earlier in the year. I think the Packers are kind of turning it around a little bit. Dolphins, I don't know what's going on, because they looked good a few weeks ago, but then it's like... It seems like for whatever reason they've fallen off the map. I don't know if it's the coaching, if it's the quarterback, if it's the defense, but something's not right. I can't put my finger on it, but something is missing. I don't know what it is, man, but something is amiss. Because they were good early in the year, but then it's like they've fallen off the map. Travis is taking the Packers, of course, because he's a Packers fan. Mr. Ramsey is taking the Packers. I'm taking the Packers as well. I just don't trust Miami anymore. I don't think they're frauds like the Titans. Because I like their head. I think they got a lot of good stuff in Miami, but I just can't figure out what's wrong with Miami right now. I don't know if it's just bad luck or bad timing or playing bad when you at the worst time in the possible season. Dave, who do you got? Packers or Dolphins?
The Packers.
Packers, all right. So I'm just before we get to the last few games, I just like to point out between me, Travis, and Dave, we have disagreed on 1, 2, 3, 4 games at the moment. So like last week.
4. What do you see? How do you see 4?
Let's see. The ones we all did. The one Texan. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, I was wrong. We're 5 actually. The ones that we didn't sweep across the board: Saints, Browns, Texans, Titans, Vikings, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and Raiders, Steelers. Every other ones you, me, and Travis have agreed upon so far.
Yeah.
And I don't love McDaniels as the head coach, but Derek Carr had 6 different offenses in like 9 years to see what he does with some consistency. I can respect that, because that's the one thing I have defended Carr about. I think he's kind of like the Alex Smith in the sense of he's had too many offensive coordinators or head coaches throughout too many years. I think that's Carr's biggest problem. He's never had that consistency. So I can respect that. I do agree with that part.
Derek Carr?
Yeah, I don't think he's... I don't think Carr's not a bad quarterback. The problem is that he's never had consistency, like Mr. Ramsey said. He's never had that consistency of the head coach and offense staying the same for a few years.
Yeah. Like, what's that guy's name who had like 10 kids? No. The guy, he played for Chargers. He had like 12 kids. Ryan Phillips, or... Yeah,
well, Alex Smith had that too. Remember, you guys had him in San Francisco, and he kept getting a new head coach or offensive coordinator. All right, up next at 4:30.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? We're supposed to draft Aaron Rodgers before Alex Smith. We're supposed to draft Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Now, the next game, which is on two stations, believe it or not, you can either watch this on
New station.
CBS and listen to Tony Romo, or you can watch this on
Oh,
Nickelodeon. Yeah, it's one of their games. Ugh. It is the
oh, you get
Denver.
slime.
It's the Denver Broncos taking on the Rams, which, to be honest, it
Oh
needs to be on
God.
Nickelodeon because that'd probably be the only way it's entertaining. Broncos country rode into a
Oh,
win last
God.
week. Granted, I'm sure the fans were like too little, too late. Rams have been eliminated from the playoffs, which I think they might go down as one of the worst defending Super Bowl champions in history. Not the worst one, but maybe one of the worst. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be for Denver yet. I don't know if Russell's been cleared yet or not because of the concussion. Um, Rams, we know it's going to be
Let's look it.
Mayfield.
Let's look it up.
Travis Glenn said, "Poor kids." Yeah, because if you have to watch it on Nickelodeon, oh god. Granted, that SpongeBob might make that game more fun, actually. Mr. Ramsey saying Broncos if Russell doesn't play. Travis says Broncos
Well, it
country, let's
says
ride.
from the Bronco news station in Denver said Wilson super wear as he returns to lineup. That was
Uh,
33 minutes ago.
Alright, so Russell Wilson will be back in the lineup. Oh, that's probably a bad idea. Shit. I can't switch my pick now. Fuck. Well, as much as I trust Baker Mayfield more than Russell Wilson this year, and that's saying something, I had the Broncos winning. Their defense is healthier. Rams have too many injuries. Personally, Russell Wilson's probably going to play bad again. But Broncos country, instead of saying "let's die," it's going to be "let's ride." Granted, unless you're the Seahawks, you want the Broncos. What's funny is though in this game, I want to mention this. Whoever loses this game can't even be happy because whoever loses, they don't own their draft picks. So this is a game that's more about the Seahawks versus Lions in this situation. Because Seahawks on the Broncos pick and the Lions on the Rams. So those two are the only teams that will be happy.
Yeah.
Mr. Ramsey says 2000 Broncos were a terrible defending champions team. They were. That's all, but they're probably one of the worst ones. I'm sure someone's going to say, "Oh, this was the worst one," whatever. But I think Rams would show that they're at least in the last few years were the worst. But yeah, I remember that 2000s team. I think that was the year after John Elway retired, correct? Yeah, because he won a Super Bowl, then he retired. Yes, that would have been that time period. All right, Dave, who you got, Broncos or Rams?
I'm going where Bronco country.
All right. Now
Where
to
you
the
going
Sunday.
with?
The worst Sunday. I got Broncos. Now
Oh
to the
yeah.
Sunday night game. Oh god, this game could actually be so close because both teams are fucking shit. Buccaneers against Arizona. I'm gonna say this. I wish we could flex this game out, but we can't because so we're stuck with this one.
I got the PS4 to play, so I could watch the play some fucking I don't know.
Now this was my hardest pick because Cardinals are shit. They're on the third string quarterback, but is a terrible team. The only
It's
reason they're going to be
garbage.
Tampa Bay is the only going to be in the playoffs because their division sucks. If they win it,
Yep.
obviously. And Brady played so bad last week against Cincinnati. His only benefit right now, the Cardinals are a terrible team. Injuries are bound for the Cardinals. I'm taking Tampa Bay here. Do I like this pick? No. Could I see Tampa Bay losing this game? Yes.
Yes.
Which, if they do, I will laugh my ass off. That would be the greatest Christmas gift Santa Claus gives everybody, seeing Brady lose on Christmas. But I don't think it's going to happen. Give me the Bucks. Travis has the Bucks. Mr. Ramsey says Bucks because who's the third string for the card? We said it at the beginning. Let me get on my... And I did show it on Facebook.
Tracy's mother, Trace more,
McSorley?
I don't know. Yeah, Tracy's mother. I said Tracy's mother.
Tracy Smothers actually would be a better quarterback. Dave, who do you got? In a game that means nothing.
No, you know what? This is hard to decide, but it's the GOAT versus I don't know. I'm picking Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Robert.
Now I'm going to say this, and this goes to everyone. Worst game of the week. Travis says I agree. I'm going to ask this question: It's a yes or no. You can put it. If the Buccaneers were playing any other team, like if the Bucks were playing the Raiders, would any
The
of us pick?
Browns.
Okay, Browns. If the Browns were playing the Bucks, would any of us pick Tampa? No.
No.
If the Bucks were playing
The Jags.
the Jags, everyone would pick the Jags. If the Bucks were playing the Bears, I'd actually pick Chicago.
So the Bucks were playing the Bad News Bear. How are we picking Bad News Bears?
Yeah, I just think no one really. Because here's the thing: no one. The Bucks are not a scary team anymore. Brady's old. Too many. Not enough people there. Personally, and I'm going to say this: Buccaneers to me are the biggest frauds in the NFC, and I think whoever plays them in the playoffs will get the easiest win out of all those games. And
Want to be the want to be the Cowboys?
no, I think the Cowboys would beat them this time around. But I don't care who the Bucks face. I don't see the Bucks winning that playoff game. I don't think the Bucks. They don't have too many injuries, too many old players. But again, the only reason they're going to be in the playoffs if they make it is because the division is shit.
Yep.
And then we get to the Monday night game of Week 16. Not a good Monday night game. We get the Chargers and Colts. Colts will have benched Matt Ryan. Chargers coming off a few good wins, beating Miami and then the Titans. Chargers need this one to keep some playoff hopes alive. Colts, believe it or not, if the Colts win out and they get some help with the Titans and Jaguars losing this week and next week, Colts could steal the division somehow, but I don't see that happening. I got the Chargers winning easily. Travis is taking the Chargers.
Me?
That's a good question. Before you get to it, Travis said, would we pick the Colts to beat the Bucks? I wouldn't, would you?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Well, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Dave, make your pick real quick.
You know what? I see the upset. No, I can't do that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to see Nick Foles as a Colt uniform. So, going in the Chargers territory and destroying the backup quarterback over the Chargers.
All right.
The end.
And Mr. Ramsey's taking the Colts as well, saying in my second upset because eventually the Chargers are going to charge. Yeah, I just hope it's not this week.
The second round pick for tampering with Jalen Bronson.
That's New York for you. Stupidity.
That's taking away the next 2025 second round pick.
Damn. All right, well, let's look ahead real quick to Week 17 because we already know there's going to be a game getting flexed here, so we're going to look at this real quick before we go. Cowboys and Titans on Thursday, so that won't get flexed.
That's me.
And the Monday night game next week, the final Monday night game of the season, is Bills-Bengals, so we get a good Monday night game. But
Yeah.
Week 17 Sunday night game at the moment is Rams-Chargers. Well, that's going to get flexed.
Oh God.
Chargers are the only team in a playoff race. Rams are eliminated. So, let's take a look at the 1 o'clock games. And I'm going to ask yes or no question. This is to Ramsey, Travis, and myself and everybody else watching. Will this game be flexed to the Sunday night game? Second one, Steelers at Baltimore.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I agree. Maybe. Bears at Lions. No.
No. Well, no.
Jaguars at Texans. No.
No.
Broncos at Chiefs. No.
No.
Dolphins Patriots. Maybe.
No.
Well, it depends on how they do this week. If both teams are still,
Yeah.
because they might be alive still in the playoff hunt. Colts Giants. No.
No.
Saints Eagles. No.
No.
Panthers Buccaneers. Maybe. Because the division is so trash.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do that because Bucks are playing again this Sunday. Browns Redskins. No.
No. Maybe.
49ers at Raiders. Maybe.
Yes. That rivalry.
And that depends on the Raiders on Saturday. If the Raiders win Saturday, I think that game gets flexed. Because that game will mean something for the Raiders more than the Niners at that, because Niners already in. Jets at Seahawks. Maybe.
No.
Both teams are still alive in
Yeah,
the
but
playoff hunt right now. And then
oh,
the last one you could do is Vikings at Packers. That,
man, maybe.
that depends again. That depends on Green Bay if they're still alive in the hunt.
So what's 18? No one knows what 18 schedules are.
No, right now Madden, because we won't know the Week 18 game. The probably Bengals
Yeah.
and Bills are playing, but Week 18 at the moment, if you go by Madden, is Ravens at Bengals.
I know
Which
we played the Cardinals.
yeah, which that one could stay in Week 18 if that's the Sunday night game, just because of the fact that that could be for the division. Um, but yeah, that so we'll find out probably Sunday this week, this Sunday or Monday, what will be the flex game for Week 17. Because they usually try to say do them the Sunday night game, so you will have to watch a Sunday night game for that most likely. I might just because hey, I want to punish myself since I
Or they're
can't.
gonna keep it how it is. They're gonna keep the Rams and Chargers.
If they keep it as
Or they
Rams and
keep the Rams.
Chargers, I think that would be a cruel fucking joke.
They're about to lose some ratings.
Yeah, that would lose some ratings, except in Los Angeles because it's LA versus LA, so I'm sure people will go watch it just for fucking bullshit. But that is the pick show for this week, guys. Of course, have a Merry Christmas to everyone who's gonna be able to celebrate it this
Yeah,
weekend.
have a good Christmas, y'all.
Hopefully you get what you wanted from Santa Claus. And if you have any children, hopefully Santa Claus gave them something they wanted as well.
I'll
Don't forget,
send you. I'll send you the mom's present out when I get the address and send the stuff out.
I already sent you the address,
Alright.
remember?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I'm at my grandparents' guy. Travis says, "Merry Christmas, guys." Thank you, Travis. Don't forget there is a PlayStation holiday sale going on right now that started today. That ends January 7th. There's a lot of good games on there.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
actually a few I would want, but again, I'm kind of broke because of having to move back to Bedford. So I will be missing out on this year's sales. Wah, wah, wah. But that's fine. But anyway, everyone have a safe and Merry Christmas, or Happy
And a
Kwanzaa,
happy New Year's.
or Happy Hanukkah, whichever one you celebrate. Well, it's not New Year's. That would be
Yep.
next year when we get to next week when we get to say that.
Oh,
But remember to leave out some milk and cookies for Santa Claus on Saturday night, or else he will bitch slap you in the face.
yep.
Until then, everyone have a good night,
So,
and I will see you all. I will probably be streaming tomorrow night and Friday night, most likely. But after that, I won't be streaming again till Monday because I'm taking Saturday and Sunday off, obviously, for Christmas. And I might be taking Monday off as well, depending how the game goes. Because I actually want to watch the Chargers win that one. I'm getting Santa drunk. Santa can get drunk double for me then. But until then, everyone have a good night. Thank you, Dave, for being here with me live. Thank you as well, Travis, since
you're
I know you're at
welcome.
work. And thank you, Mr. Ramsey, as well. Good luck to you or your teams if we picked them to win this week. If we didn't, well, good luck anyway. Until then,
Yeah.
peace out and have a good night and a Merry Christmas to all.